What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan and Nick Fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop? Hit that notification bell. All right, y'all. Before I get into this Knicks Magic game, I want to talk about the last game for maybe 20 hot seconds. You know what I'm saying? All I want to say, that was a good win. In that victory, the Knicks still, well, I'm not gonna say the Knicks, but Mike Brown has been criticized. A win is a win, y'all. And I understand the criticism, and I don't. I know that sounds a little confusing to some of y'all, but I'm gonna tell you why I don't. Because what happened is every year before the season start, especially when there's a team that pick a number one draft pick, everything is overhyped. When everybody talked about AD and Kyrie Irving, which everybody knew Kyrie was going to be out most of the season, if not all. The surprising injury, which we look around the NBA right now, there's a lot of guys hurt, was AD. And they thought they would have AD and Cooper Flag on the court together with the rest of the guys. And I'm not saying Cooper Flag's overhyped, but I'm just saying people have put dollars up here, and Dallas is right here. So when we played them, the confidence level of the New York Knicks was up here. You know what I'm saying? The confidence level was up here, and it was supposed to be, in a lot of people's mind, a blowout win. And with the return of Jalen Brunson, a lot of people thought that, the Knicks should have won that game by more points and more convincingly. All right. With that being said, let's get to the Orlando Magic, New York Knicks, and this is, I'm not going to say a revenge game, but this will be a great boost for the New York Knicks confidence. This is the second time meeting for the season, this short season. The last time we played them, y'all seen it. They manhandled the New York Knicks. Because you look at the game statistically, it wasn't really much different. But what was the difference in this game was the physicality, actually. And Brunson getting hurt. We're going to talk about Brunson in a second because the man is back. I was surprised he was back so soon. Happy but surprised. I was giving it, after my last video, y'all heard me say it takes at least 1 to 3 weeks with a grade 1 ankle sprain. So I thought he was going to be out at least 3 to 4 games. But if you look in the past, Brunson is a player that bounced back quickly. You know what I'm saying? He bounces back quickly from injuries. And that's good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm loving it. And I'm just hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that it could continue and that he doesn't get an injury that end his season. We need Brunson. For a while, I thought that we can probably get past, a few games without Brunson, but Karl-Anthony Towns right now is not playing like himself. We'll talk about Karl-Anthony Towns. That will be at the ending of this video, so please stick around for that. I want your opinion on that as well. Now, we look at the Orlando Magic right now. The last time we played them, we was averaging like 130 points coming off a 5-game winning spree. But in that game, we only managed to score 42 first half points. After watching the Knicks score at least 70 points and them 5-game winning streaks in the first half, they held us to 42 points and just 35% shooting from downtown. And the Knicks is one of the better 3-point shooting teams in this league. Like I said, statistically, when you look at that game, they didn't do too much to the New York Knicks. But mentally and physically, they controlled the Knicks. And Saturday night, we cannot have that happen again. The New York Knicks going to have, Mike Brown, you know what I'm saying, is going to have to come up with a better scheme. I don't mean to go off topic, but I just want to say this. I'm not going to lie to you. I always worry about the New York Knicks when we play the Orlando Magic, especially from last season. I'm not saying the Orlando Magic is a dirty team, especially they got rid of one of their dirty players. He's somewhere else, but they are a physical team. The coach Jamal, he has them playing really physical, old school type basketball, and it tends to take teams. And when I say teams, I'm talking about the New York Knicks out of their game, out of their game plan mentally. The Knicks got to come in and they got to hold their game plan together. They can't let these guys move them around off their spots. They got to get just as physical, but they got to do it with control where they don't pick up cheap bullshit fouls. But this is going to be an interesting game. This is going to be a real test because this is out of the 5 defeats. This was one of the worst defeats. Chicago, they bust us down, but we had a chance to come back and revenge that loss. Milwaukee, we're going to see y'all later this week. We coming for you, Milwaukee. And with Antetokounmpo out, we ain't showing no mercy. And that's the mindset that I want the New York Knicks to keep when we meet the Orlando Magic tomorrow night. All right? You know what I'm saying? There's another road game. Speaking of road games, like I said, we got our man back. Brunson, he first New York Knicks player to score over 25 points in the first 4 road games of the season. And he got to do it. He got to continue that performance. He got to continue that performance. We know the last time he met these guys, he did have the injury. You know what I'm saying? But he bounced back. Like I said, Brunson's a very I ain't gonna say dependable player, but if if he was a mutant, he would be the Wolverine of the NBA. He seemed to heal really fast when it comes to injuries, and which I'm grateful for, which I know a lot of y'all are also grateful for. But yeah, this is something that a lot of people is going to worry about the physicality, how they're going to play Brunson. Is that ankle going to be able to hold up? Like I said, he's back. People thought he would be out at least 3 weeks. I made a video about the grade 1 ankle sprain, and it usually take 1 to 3 weeks to heal. And he's out about a week, if not a week, just 2 games. Well, came back on that third game, and I'm on how the Magic is going to attack him defensively and offensively. I know they're going to be really physical because we know they're a physical team, but how are they going to attack him offensively? Although he looked good, I did see him favoring that ankle in that Dallas game. And in the fourth quarter, Brunson had a good game, but he didn't score in the fourth quarter. And I'm gonna go off for I'm just gonna go off for 1 second back to the Dallas game. What I like about Mike Brown, all right, what I like about Mike Brown is the way he adjusts to games. When he wasn't afraid to take Brunson out of the game, and I know it was for defensive purposes, but that was a smart move. You know what I'm saying? The end of the game, I know some of y'all heard before, as good as Brunson is on offense, he's just as bad on defense. I mean, he's not the worst defensive player, but he is a liability. And some teams sometimes take advantage of that, especially in the crucial moments of the game. And Mike Brown, like, nah, we're not having that. That's what I meant about last year, adjusting on the fly with Tom Thibodeau. All right. Now, with that being said, Brunson did have a good game against the Magic. He scored 31 points in that game. And he looked good until the ending. You know what I'm saying? He was the only player in that game to really put up any points. Towns struggled. What Towns had in that game, he struggled mightily in that game. He had 15 points, shot 25% from downtown, 40% from the field. He really struggled. Brunson, the only player in that game was looking good was OG. When I say that, I mean the minus plus, and he's not playing. Landry Shamet was, I can say second, but the third highest scoring Nick with 11 points in that game. And we're gonna need Landry Shamet. We definitely gonna need Shamet to step up. We seen what he's been doing in certain games. That last Dallas game, he offensively he wasn't on all night, but when it mattered, he got the three pointers to hit them 2 threes that we needed, and he made the defensive player of the year for the New York Knicks. A lot of people saying it's controversial. I don't understand how they can say that was a controversial play. When excuse me, when you see that he was hooked, you know what I'm saying? He was hooked. So I don't understand how people can say that this was controversial. Shamet, y'all heard me talk about Anunoby being that third option. I'm not gonna say that Shamet should be the third option on this team, but when it come off the bench, he should be at least the second off option on offense off the bench. When we got the second unit in, he should be that second offense. If not, the first option on offense, depending on how Miles McBride is performing. Because Miles McBride can be streaky at sometimes, but then he can be hot. If Miles McBride is coming out and he's having one of them games that he's off automatically just getting busy, you know what I'm saying? And when I say Shaman should be coming off the first option when coming off the bench, that's when Anunoby returned. Right now, we know he's starting unless Mike Brown decides to switch up that up that a starting unit. But back to McBride. McBride can be streaky. So it's a toss up between them two right there, but he should be the main focus when coming on the second unit or even when he's paired with the second unit and Carl Anthony Towns so happen not to be on the court or playing like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, and that we got to talk about that. Carl Anthony Towns, I'm not gonna lie, he's been good. He's been great. He's not been a bum, but he's been shooting below his average. He's shooting somewhere in the 40%, shooting 30 something from downtown. And he's taking unnecessary 3 pointers. Um, I know it's not his game, but I would like to see him post up a little bit more, or instead of trying to take players off the dribble because he usually pick up most of his fouls when he's doing that because he's another player. You know what I'm saying? That hooks. You know what I'm saying? That like to hook a player when he go around. So, excuse me. I would like to see a different Carl Towns this year. I know his averages is not his career best right now. But you look at what he's leading the team, excuse me, the NBA in rebound. I mean, in double doubles. Excuse me again. Um, I really don't have a problem with Carl Anthony Towns' game, except that and it's no secret that he his tendencies is kind of soft. He's not an aggressive guy that's going to be aggressive every night. We see it every now and then. That's when we get to saying the cat, big bodega, when he get upset. But I don't want to see him dribbling from the top of the key. I want to see him already in the paint, getting the ball, backing the guy down, and going to the rim. So if he missed the shot, he ain't on the floor because most of the time when he make them hard cuts to the basket, and when even if he make the shot or miss the shot, he usually end up on the court, and it leaves the Knicks vulnerable on defense on the fast break and in transition. So there's certain things that I want to see different from Towns, but at the same time, he's going to have to step up his game. I'm not. See, I know I'm sounding like a little contradicting myself because I'm fine with the points he's putting, but I'm not used to it. That's a better way I can say it. I'm not used to what he's doing right now. It could make you think like, what could he get? What could the Knicks get for him at the trade deadline? Like, if that's possible, you know what I'm saying? A few more younger bodies that can solidify that bench. Another key player. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Another key player that can help Jalen Brunson. That's not so soft. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say what I gotta say, y'all. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but I'm giving you my opinion, and I value yours. So please hit me in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. What Carl Anthony Towns? If I mean, we know what we was getting, but we didn't even know we was getting him when we got him. It was a shock when we got him. I'm gonna be real right there. But we know what we got now that we got him. Are y'all happy with his play so far? He had one game, the game when Brunson was out, that it really had people thinking like, okay, you know what I'm saying? If he could continue this play, especially with Brunson being out, then we ain't really worried. But then the next game, even though he scored over 20 points in that game, he wasn't really in the game. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm on the fence with his play. Mike Brown, I think, got to get him in the paint. Tell him, it's too much driving from the key. And if you're going to drive from the key, be more balanced. You know what I'm saying? Don't end up on the ground. Be in a position where you can get back on defense where the Knicks is not running down the court 5-on-4. That's all I'm saying. Tell me what y'all think. Hit me in the comments. With that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy. God bless, and peace.